Hi guys, I don't really feel like to come back to YouTube, but I want to share my DDD deck. As you saw in the intro, it's not pure. My version is much better, pure kinda sucks, and let's be real, like pure is not what you want as a DDD player. It's way too easy to pilot, it's way too linear. If you want to compare those decks, it's like Invoked, to be honest. And it's not good right now anyway. If you're a skilled player, then you will love this version because the skill ceiling of it is extremely high. So with no more words, let's start with the main deck. There we play Triple Kepler, only one Copernicus. You don't need more. If you want to play a second, then it's for consistency reasons. Also, Upstart is an option. I currently don't have the space. I needed to make room for the third Dark Ruler cause it's so insane versus those Punk and ABC decks. Then we have Griffin, Swirl, Gate, 1/1, and Allow of Darkness. Those are our best consistency cards. Then we have also Necro, Lamia, Swamp King, Orthros, Ghost. We run those in 2 copies. Well, we play Halqs breaks, that's obviously why we need 2 Lamias. Ghost also dumps the second copy of them into the graveyard. That we have the setup, the recovery in our graveyard for the next turn. And to have a second swirl means that you can summon out Ragnarok and reborn your entire graveyard with 1.5 cards. We play for the last contract, which it's crazy, as you saw in the intro, to beat Dark Ruler and Droplet. Also the 1k boost of our monster during the bronze turn, people don't know it, so that's crazy. And Visual Control to pop every turn a card. With Halqs breaks, we also draw a card during the bronze turn, so even if we don't have a DD card, Dark Contract to discard, we have a high chance to either draw into a hand trap or into a card to the discard. For our remaining DD monster, there we have Ragnarok, 2 copies. It's our recovery, and he's not just going to reborn our entire graveyard, but he also can banish the entire field of the opponent. It's that effect soft once per turn, so this card beats Mary Jade. Then we have Thomas to get our stuff back from the extra deck. Only 1 copy. Can be unfortunate with Allow of Darkness sometimes, but hey, it's not the only play that you have. It's definitely rewarding to play only 1. Also here, Apocalypse. That's how we're going to make our Hexblood, cause we don't play John Dark. And he works well together with Ghost. Cause if Ghost gets banished, then we are going to put some DD monster from our LFG back to the graveyard. Means we can put one of those monsters with graveyard's effect, something that we maybe want to reborn. It's also a combo that we are going to go into Flame Hiking with Necro and the regular Chinggis. Means that we want the Chinggis back into our graveyard to make reborn it and to make Trishul setup. That's how we're going to do it. Banish the Ghost, get the Chinggis back. For our hand traps, there we have DD Crow. It's a dark, full of darkness. So it's the Quotem Grey, as I call it. And it's a good hand trap with other hand traps together. You don't want to play more copies, but that 1 copy will almost every time hit something, and if not, you bench it with the Law of Darkness. That's alright. You can also normal summon it and go into Trishula. Then we have only 2 copies of Nibiru and Ash Blossom. Yes, they are hard ones per turn. That means you don't want to have the second copy. In this deck, we play a Law of Darkness, and if we get stopped going first and we stuck with a hand with only 1 interruption, it's really bad. Also, they're not too crazy. Ash is only really good with a Death Spear, Eldritch, and a Tritron. I cite a 3rd copy of it for those matchups, but not for the rest. And maybe other control decks, okay. Then we have the better hand traps right now, Effect Veiler, and the best hand trap, Impermanence. Effect Negation are a bit better. Impermanence, you can draw it during your turn with the Law of Darkness. That's pretty good. So that was from the main deck. In the extra deck, there we run our 3 Chingas. Then for the synchros, we play of course Fleur. It's a proxy, I don't own it, cause the major events, they are all over by now. Well, this weekend we have the German Nationals. But I was sick, so I couldn't go there, sadly, so I had no reason to buy it, yeah. But this card is crazy in this deck. You play around Nibiru, and what's more important, you can pop your own stuff. Means going second, you can like set up Ragnarok and Thomas. If you have Kepler in your extra deck, add it back, destroy Ragnarok, scale Kepler, and Pendulum Summon Ragnarok means you search Ragnarok with the ability of Fleur. Then we have Trishula, the focus of this deck, Hexblood and Formula. For our extra seeds, there we run Zeus, double Deus Machinex, the God in the Machine, and our Wave Kings. We don't need Tail in this deck, because we normally have something else to reborn. For the 2-card combo we reborn Orthros. The good thing about this deck is that we're flexible. We can choose what we want to end on. If we don't have a contract, we can go for Wave King and link him away during our first turn. Yeah, that sounds crazy, but that gives us Gate, and Gate gets us Kepler, Kepler gets us Witch. And in the end, we're going to end on Trishula, Hexblood, Machina, something like that, plus Witch, or Fleur setup with Witch in the back. Like, you can choose what you want to end on. If Witch is crazy in a matchup, you can get it. It makes your deck so much more flexible than pure. Then we have for our Link Monster Gilgamesh and Halqs. Hopefully that card will not get banned. Yes, that's from the extra deck. In the side deck, there we have Troll and Lockbird to beat ABC, Punks, Tritron and other decks, but not Despier. That's why we have other hand traps, or that we need more hand traps to beat that deck. And therefore we run, well, the 3rd copy of Ash and Didi Crow, also called by. Then we have the Spice. That's a really strong card. You should definitely play it in DDD. If you don't run it in the main, what you could in pure, then you should definitely side it. What does it do? So first of all, you can search it out with Gate, and that's all you need. You can put this in the scale, target any number of dark contracts you control, destroy them, beschwör him, then you can manipulate its level, increase or decrease it by 1 up to the number of dark contracts you destroyed. If you want to, that makes easy Hexblood or Fleur, whatever you want. because he is level 8. Now you can get a 9 or 7 or keep it as 8. So normally you can ignore that going second, because what you want is Machina. Any DD, triple D monster that you use him for gets a bonus effect. That means you can one per turn target a card on the field and resolve. You're going to shuffle back a Dark Contract from your field or graveyard, destroy that card and gain 1000 life. That means you're going to beat impermanence. But you still have the body on the board and you can run something over. You can go into choice, force more out, beat Appaloosa, beat Wave King, and beat Bagushka. Wait, how do you beat Bagushka? Well, since you can give this effect every monster that you use him, every DD monster that you use him as material, you can pop with Gilgamesh, Bagushka, not Appaloosa, Bagushka, and that's how you get rid of that. That card is really, really crazy. Strong side deck card going second if you don't main it. In pure, I think you can main it because it's a level 7 and that gives you the ability to go easier in Hexblood. But I don't play pure, so who cares? Well, really good side deck card. Then we have Dark Ruler. Good versus Punk ABC. All those decks that are not, all those comp decks that are just going to lose to this card. You can also side some copies versus other matchups like Sword Soul and Penturbo, Flanderies. This is a pretty good card. Dragons, like there are enough decks where this card is crazy as yes. Then we have for back removal only 2 cards. I don't like, especially in this deck, the other options. And right now, like Evil Match is not that good right now. Cosmic Cyclone is not that great in this deck, because you don't fear Mystic Mine or stuff like that. So you play only those 2 at the moment. For Edlich we also side DD Crow and Ash Blossom. And Edlich isn't pure, so they often play with Deathspear, means they are more vulnerable to other hand traps, and therefore we're going to keep impermanence in. For our going first, we want to make our life easier. That's why we play Floodgate. I choose to play Deck Lockdown because it's so flexible, and Call by the Grave for going first and Deathspear going second. Yeah, that's it from the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and well, maybe we see us next time, I don't know. Bye.